Rain wasn't falling, it was attacking Detroit, a relentless, metallic, gray downpour that mirrored the storm in Leo's chest. His hands, permanently etched with the grit and oil of his trade, were clenched so tight on the steering wheel of his battered pickup that his knuckles shone white. In the passenger seat, his 7-year-old daughter, Maya, hummed a tuneless song, her small backpack holding the crayon drawings she'd made for him to find after his big, important meeting. This interview at Aura Motors wasn't just a job opportunity. It was the frayed end of a rope he'd been clinging to for 2 years, ever since the universe had left him a single dad with a mortgage and a heart full of shattered pieces. The clock on the dash glowed 9:47 a.m. His interview was at 10:00. He was going to make it. If you believe in kindness and second chances, if your heart roots for the underdog, then do us a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Grandma's Book, and share this story. It's the fuel that keeps these tales of hope alive. That's when he saw her. A figure in a sleek, electric wheelchair was stranded on the flooded curb of a deserted access road, right before the turnoff to the gleaming Aura Motors headquarters. The wheelchair's front caster was jammed deep into a storm drain grating, tilted dangerously. The woman was struggling, her expensive-looking cream coat already drenched in mud splattered, one wheel spinning uselessly. Leo's foot hovered between the gas and the brake. Every cell in his survivalist brain screamed to drive on. This interview was for a master technician role, a salary that could finally get Maya the braces she needed, that could mean daycare instead of her napping in the back office of his failing home garage. "Daddy, that lady needs help." Maya's voice, clear and certain, cut through the drumming rain and his panic. With a groan that came from the depths of his soul, Leo flicked on his hazards and pulled over. "Stay in the truck, sweet Pia," he said, his voice rough. He threw his only suit jacket over his head and plunged into the deluge. Up close, the situation was worse. The woman, Kiana, had a sharp, intelligent face now pinched with frustration and pain. "I was trying a shortcut," she shouted over the rain, her voice strained. "The map was wrong. I'm so sorry." Leo didn't speak. He knelt in the icy, swirling water, his interview slacks instantly ruined. He saw the problem immediately. A metal lip from the drain had bent and locked into the chair's mechanism. This wasn't a simple pull. He needed tools. "I have to get my kit," he yelled. She just nodded, rainwater streaking down her face. He ran back, grabbed his heavy toolbox, and for the next 12 agonizing minutes, Leo the mechanic took over. The world narrowed to the C's joint, to the precise application of leverage, to the rhythmic clink of his wrench. He was aware of the seconds bleeding away, each one a tick of a bomb set to detonate his future. 9:52, 9:58, 10:05. His interview time came and went as he worked, a silent, crushing defeat swallowed by the storm. Finally, with a solid clunk, the wheelchair jerked free. He guided it and Kiana safely onto higher, drier pavement. He was a mess, soaked mud, caked, his crisp white shirt now translucent and stained. "Thank you," Kiana said, her eyes searching his. You're soaked. You were on your way somewhere." Leo gave a short, bitter laugh, wiping his hands on his ruined pants. "Doesn't matter anymore. Just glad you're okay. The bearing on your left side is going, by the way. You'll hear a grinding noise." It was an automatic mechanic's note, his professionalism bleeding through even in his despair. He turned to leave. "Wait," Kiana called. "What's your name?" Leo Vance." "Thank you, Leo Vance." He just waved, already running back to his truck, where Maya looked at him with wide, worried eyes. "Did you save her, Daddy?" she asked. He forced a smile, his heart a lead weight. "Yeah, kiddo, I did." The rest of the drive home was silent, the empty garage a monument to his lost chance. He changed into his work coveralls, the uniform of his stalled life, and spent the afternoon in a fog, fixing a neighbor's alternator for half what it was worth. The next morning, the sun was shining cruelly, mocking the previous day's gloom. Leo was under a sedan when the bell on his garage door jingled. He rolled out to see polished dress shoes, then a familiar face, Kiana, but she was not the stranded woman from the rain. She stood tall, dressed in a power suit that screamed authority, her posture radiating a command that yesterday's vulnerability had hidden. Behind her stood a man Leo recognized from the Aura Motors website, the head of HR. Leo Vance, Kiana said, a small, knowing smile on her lips. I believe you had an interview yesterday you missed because of an unforeseen logistical issue. Leo could only stare, a grease-stained rag frozen in his hand. My full name is Kiana Thorne. I'm the CEO of Aura Motors. Yesterday wasn't a test. It was a disaster. But in how you responded to it, I saw everything my company's culture document tries to spell out in 50 pages. You saw a problem and solved it with expertise, even when it cost you dearly. You showed compassion without expectation, and you even gave me unsolicited, expert advice on my chair's bearing. She stepped forward, her eyes warm. I don't need a master technician who's just good with engines, Leo. I need one who's a master of integrity. The job is yours, and... She added, glancing at Maya's drawings pinned to a bulletin board, our on-site childcare center has an opening. Leo's vision blurred. The world tilted and righted itself on a new, solid axis he thought had been lost forever. It wasn't just the job. It was the recognition that the man he'd been forced to become the struggling single dad, the humble mechanic, was not a lesser version of himself, but a stronger, more compassionate one. And the universe, in its strange, roundabout way, had finally seen him. Sometimes the most pivotal moments of our lives don't happen in boardrooms, but on flooded street corners. If this story touched your heart, if it made you believe in destiny and decency, please let us know in the comments. Your engagement helps stories of hope find their way to those who need them most. I'd love to hear from you personally in the comments. When has a simple act of kindness, given or received, unexpectedly changed your path? As Leo, with Maya's small hand firmly in his, walked through the automatic doors of Aura Motors the following Monday, he wasn't just crossing into a new job. He was stepping into the life that his own good heart had quietly, faithfully built. The storm had passed, and in its wake, it left a future brighter than any he had dared to imagine.